Hello and welcome to the Neurodiverse podcast. I am your host and weaver of tales, sometimes VintrBjorn. And we're joined by my other host, Gyro. What's up, Gyro?
The ceiling. It's been a while. I've aged several years.
Fucking
Help me.
fucking goober. So last time we talked about Mega Man. The time before that, I talked about Digimans. This time, I'm just going off the dome. I didn't prepare anything just because I want to talk about my massive hard-on for Clair Obscure Expedition 33. This will be spoiler free. I'm not going to talk about any actual like story beats or anything. I'm just going to kind of gush about the game for however long this podcast goes.
You better not gush too hard or you might get demonetized.
Whoa, but it's so good.
Yes, but you said you were going to talk about your hard-on for this game and now you're gushing about it.
I need a hot dog so bad.
I need a hot dog so bad.
But it's such a good game. It's like from the just from a mechanical standpoint, from the art, from the music in the game, and the story itself, which I'm not going to... I will talk about the themes in the story, because I don't think that's really much of a spoiler. But
yeah.
I'm, like... I don't want to spoil, like, anything that happens in any of the acts themselves, because I do think it's such a good story that it needs to be experienced, even if, like, the gameplay isn't your thing. Fucking just look up somebody playing it, like doing a full playthrough and watching like all the cutscenes and stuff, because it is a masterpiece. It is masterful storytelling.
As a certified gun and ball gamer, I would never play something like this. No siree. Please ignore the fact that I have it in my Steam library at this moment.
Like a gun. As a Chad gun and ball gamer.
As a gun, I have 4 games installed. Call of Duty, the newest one from whatever time you're watching this. Madden, the newest one from whenever you're watching this. And that's it. The 2 other games were a lie.
No, you don't even have like FIFA? Like,
guys, gaming is dying. There's nothing new under the sun.
Unless it's coming from a small studio or an indie studio.
They've released another gun and ball game, and I'm dissatisfied. It's not the same gun and ball game that I've come to know and love.
Sometimes it's a gun and ball game.
Yeah, gun comma ball game or gun ampersand ball game.
Yeah. Anyway, Clair Obscure Expedition 33.
French Xenoblade.
First thing... God damn it. First thing I want to talk about is it being an homage to everything that makes turn-based RPGs great, especially you can tell the people that worked on it had like a love for old school JRPGs, because it made me so nostalgic for things like Final Fantasy VII, like Legend of the Dragoon, like these JRPGs that came out during the PlayStation 1 era, that kind of pioneered the fact that you could have good storytelling in a video game.
And it's fun at the same time.
Yeah, and it's fun at the same time. with a little bit of, some of the more modern stylings, like, a lot of people have compared the UI, especially the combat UI, to like Persona, and I can definitely see like stylistically how it's very similar to Persona. But it
Stylist
even
menus.
yeah, but it even blends like Souls-like aspects with like the dodge and the parry mechanics like mid-fight, so it gives you something to do during the turn-based combat, even on the enemy turn. So like it's not just the same turn-based formula,
Yeah.
and I love that. And I turn-based games have been in like this rut for a while where it's just been incredible stories, incredible art direction, and like banger music, but the turn-based combat has gotten stale. And Expedition 33 really, like, they were like, you know what, we hear you, bet we're gonna innovate here.
Wasn't this
And
the company's first game?
yes, like they, I believe, like the initial people working on it were ex Ubisoft
Yeah, that's the
devs.
most surprising thing about all this, that this came from anyone even remotely associated with the Ubislop.
Yeah, they were ex Ubisoft employees, but they weren't like high up there. And like, I don't know like what end of development they were on, because they are on record saying that a lot of what they learned about development they learned via YouTube, and then just kind of
Wow.
winging it as they went. And again, most of the development team was people that they hired off of Reddit. Like,
I didn't know that. Holy.
yeah, like like the person, like the main story writer, they hired off of Reddit. The main person that did the music, they hired off of Reddit. Like, the the main development team was mostly Reddit hires.
That's so funny.
And then they got picked up by like a medium-sized studio. Like, they didn't get picked up by like a AAA studio, but they got picked up by a studio that had money, which then allowed them to hire, some more talented, well, not like more talented, but like some bigger name like voice actors and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's when people started being like, well, you can't call it an indie game anymore, and it's not a small development team anymore, because look at all the people that worked on the game. It's like, yeah, those are people that worked on the game, but they weren't developers of the game. Like, the actual development team is still a small development team. Yeah, they hired musicians, and they were able to hire, higher quality musicians, higher quality voice talent and all that, but the development team was still a small development team of around 33 people, hence
Wow. Oh,
Expedition 33.
That's funny.
Yeah. But back to the game mechanics, like they added in like the Souls-like mechanics with the dodge and parry stuff, and then they
So, real
like,
quick, I want to interrupt you for just a second. I have not seen much of this game. I saw very briefly a very weird looking character who smacked himself on the head with his rod. I don't know of what, but he smacked himself on the head. He sounded funny. And I saw the mechanic where you could parry or dodge during your turn. And I do agree with you, that is very unique, especially nowadays. However, I do want to bring it to attention the Mario and Luigi series from Nintendo, where that idea kind of not originated, but where I personally first saw it, where you could dodge and counterattack during the enemy's turn.
yeah, that's fair. Um, like, yeah, I I think on like just in a more. I've never played the Mario and Luigi like RPG series, so I have no frame of reference for like how in like major that was, or like what the major game impact on it was. Because the way dodging and parrying works, dodging in the game, it's like you just don't take damage, but you don't get like your counter on it. So like if you get a bunch of perfect dodges, yeah, you don't take any damage, but you don't get your counter attack.
Yeah.
Whereas if you parry every single attack, you don't take the damage and you get the counter, like the counter if you perfect parry it.
Oh, okay.
So it's higher risk, higher reward, because dodging also has a higher like forgiveness. Like it's more forgiving to dodge than it is to parry, obviously.
Yeah, I get you.
On top of that, each character also has their own unique gimmick special to them too. As far as like not just like a meter that they fill, but like just little gimmicky things that they do. Like one of them, you fill up these different elemental, they're called stains, and then certain attacks that they do get extra bonuses based on which elements you've applied to the enemy. The character you were talking about with the hit himself in the head with the stick has a like almost an RNG style mechanic.
Gambling?
Yes, gambling.
I've been inspired.
He's got a big wheel that changes every turn, and you get different like you get different attribute bonuses based on what, like, basically what stance he's in.
I really like
and
that.
Like, and just different things like that. So all your characters also have their own unique gimmicks too, which then goes into the build variety. There's so many ways to build your party and your characters. Like with my playthrough, I had what was essentially my glass cannon in like that would start the fight, and then if she died, then you have what's like basically the backup mechanic.
Yeah.
You have the backup party comes in afterwards and then finishes the fight.
I think
so. You don't just like die outright if one of the characters that you have selected for like your main party dies. You then have a backup party to come in and like finish the fight with.
Okay. I think Persona 5 Royal specifically, maybe it also happened in Persona 3 Reload. Either way, I think there was a similar mechanic where at least if the main character didn't die, if your party members died, then one of the others would come and take their place.
Yeah. Yeah, for this one, the way this works specifically is like the whole party has to wipe and then the next party comes in.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
Like, so it makes it interesting that way, because there are like ways to build things to where if your character is the only character alive, basically they get like a whole bunch of stat bonuses and they can deal crazy damage.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like the sound of that, where even if everyone else is dead, you can just power boost the last guy.
Yep. So I wound up going through the game with basically two builds. I had my glass cannon build, which was always the starter, and then if she didn't like finish the fight outright. I had my like balanced party build that like covered all the bases to kind of like finish the fight out.
Okay.
So I had basically both of my like favorite play styles I could play the game with, and I really liked that. It was really funny because the way I had it was I had it spec'd so that it would start out with the two characters. One would just blow up immediately because you can just do that. You can make it so that they have a special talent that just blows them up.
Is it just a vest of C4?
Pretty much. And then he had a bunch of other like talents on him that if he died, he gave a whole bunch of buffs to the other person for a certain amount of like turns, on top of the buffs that person now got for being the last person standing. So like it just makes them a super glass cannon.
All in on the cannon.
All cannon.
Still made of glass.
Yeah. But like that's just the kind of build diversity you have in there. Like you can you can literally just build anything. It's very Souls-like in that way too. Is they were like, just go fucking nuts. Like,
I must be unsupervised by OSHA the way I'm about to build everything incorrectly.
Like, obviously, you know, you gotta... The higher level you get, the more you get to do that, because it's gated by, like, a certain amount of points that you can put in and all that. But it's just good. It's just fucking good, man. I had, like... And, like, just... storytelling through game mechanics too was just really good, like, because you really felt the stakes of every fight. Not that it was punishing
of every expedition.
Yeah, not that it was like super punishing. Obviously I tried to fight things that were way higher level than me just to like get certain things early because I'm that kind of person. But you don't...
I thought you were gonna say it's because I wanted to see what would happen.
Well, that too, but also like you don't have to punish yourself like that. Like it's very much, you know, if you hit a wall, come back to it later, or you know, this is very obviously something you're supposed to come back to later. You don't have to bang your head against this until you're ready for it. But I'm a stubborn son of a bitch because I'm a Souls player. But, you know, it rewards you for that, too. Because, again, if your parries are on point, then, like, you get those really awesome counterattacks that freaking do massive damage. It helps build tension really well too. The way everything's laid out and just the way the mechanics work. And another thing is also your attacks. You can also charge them up through these little quick time events where it's like you have to like hit it at the right time. It's got like a little circle that closes in, and you have to hit it like right at the right time.
This is sounding more and more like Mario and Luigi.
To be fair, Legend of the Dragoon did it before Mario and Luigi did it.
I have never played Legend of the Dragoon.
Yeah. It's a good game. You should. I'm not. I don't condone piracy at all. but you should emulate
But
it.
like, if a copy like fell into your lap somehow, some way.
But if you
then
were to
should
like
definitely
emulate it, then like, you know, I'm not gonna say anything.
I see Gears of Dragoon on Steam here.
It's not the same
That's the-
thing.
No.
No,
it's
not at all. Oh god, that's what Square Enix needs to remake instead of Final Fantasy VII. They need to remake Legend of the Dragoon. They never will because they're cowards, but
No, that's it. They're just scared. And they're like, we can't release the game out, man.
it was a cult classic and a lot of people loved it, but we can't do it.
Don't understand. It's gotta be real fucking bad, man. If we release this thing, you have no idea.
But that's enough of me jerking off the mechanics for Expedition 33. I have nothing but good things to say about it. The flags.
Thank you for giving it a break.
The flags are bonfires. That's the last thing I'll say about it. You know, the flags are bonfires. Also, you have a base camp like you do in Baldur's Gate. So,
yet another game series I need to try, or specifically just 3. I don't know.
I could go on and on about Baldur's Gate 3 too. That was another really good game, but that's because I'm a D&D nerd.
More content.
On to the themes. The themes of Expedition 33, because this is something that really resonated with me, just because it's something like I went through. So obviously not everybody's gonna resonate with it as hard as I did, but a lot of the themes in this game have to do with the cycle of grief. Like it's very much kind of like a psychological I don't want to say like thought experiment, but like it's pretty much every character in the game, from the main characters and the main story to the side characters and their stories, all their stories revolve around themes of grief and different stages of grief, because they're all kind of in different stages.
Yeah.
And that resonates with me a lot as somebody who lost somebody very important to them at a very young age, and was stuck in that cycle of grief for many years. It shaped a lot of my early adulthood because I just didn't deal with my grief properly. And to see a game handle grief in this way, in a very
Is it
positive,
tactful,
yeah, tactful. I hesitate to say positive because there is a good and a bad ending. Like
Okay.
And that's not a spoiler. That's just there is a good and a bad ending to the story. I happened to choose the good ending, just based on my own
very
experience.
Obvious which leads to what.
Yeah, it is kind of obvious which one's going to lead to which ending. But there were also just so many twists and turns throughout the story that I just didn't see coming, but with, you know, kind of retrospect and like realizing what the themes were as I was going through it. Because this is another thing, like, you get an inkling of what the themes, like, what the theme is. Like, it's very obviously a sad game, and the story is very sad, and in the beginning, you're like, oh yeah, there's a lot of death going on, and, like, Yeah, that's real sad. And then the more you go through it and the more you interact with your side characters and the main characters and like explore the world, and get story bits from exploring the world, because there's optional areas you go to that give you more like story bits, outside of
Lord.
yeah, outside of like just the like, because there is some environmental storytelling, and like some items have that like Souls like description storytelling, but this is definitely more of a, you know, a story driven game, so they also just kind of tell you to, as long as you put in the effort to like explore and like look for stuff, and like you go to these like landmarks and things, and then the characters talk to each other.
They say,
and, like,
"Whoa, that's a landmark."
And they talk to each other, and they have these
I'll
like
mark it on your map.
deep conversations, and then you're just like, oh, this is about more than just death and like this really horrible like situation. And then you're just like, oh, this is about grief. And then it's just these twists start happening that you like, the story does a really good job of leading you and making you think one thing's gonna happen, and then you have this inkling that it's not quite right, but you don't know like what's off about it until the twist happens. And I really liked that, because some stories like try to put twists in without like any kind of like payoff or any kind of build up to the twist. It's just like it was put in there for shock, like just shock factor, whereas every twist in this game has a purpose, and every twist like in retrospect you could kind of like see coming, but they do it in a way where you're
like, it seems obvious in hindsight, but you have no clue leading up to it.
And it's just so good. It's just such good storytelling. Yeah, no, it's just fucking great, man. I got nothing bad to say about this game. Like, anything bad I would have to say about any part of the story would just be little nitpicks, and even those are like so minor. And like, I can't even think of them right now. I would have to actually sit down and really think if I had any like I had just such an overwhelmingly positive experience with this game as far as like my enjoyment of it.
Yeah, I remember you were telling all of us about it and how great it was.
I gushed about this game for a while, and it's still just, I still think about it. Like, I still will come back and be like, man, that game was so good. And just, I'll be like,
I hope they make a Clair Obscure Expedition 34 someday.
No. This story ended, and it ended well, and I don't want them to make a sequel. If they make anything, maybe something that's like a spiritual successor to it, but not,
or something in the same universe.
Yeah, maybe something in the same universe, but not the same characters. Because the story that they told was a complete story, and it ended. And depending on which ending you chose, it either ended very satisfyingly or very unsatisfyingly.
Shocking.
But just that theme of grief really resonated with me. Like I said, as somebody who lost somebody really close to them at a very young age, I really I really felt like a lot of empathy for these characters, and like, not that it's stupid to say, but they're fictional characters. But it's like when a story can do that, can make you really feel for a fictional character, you're in for a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the themes of the story. That's enough of me gushing about that. Do you have any?
Clair obscure spoiler-free warning.
Well, there was no.
Or version.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I really spoiled anything in that. Do you have anything that you'd like to ask or add to that? Like, you haven't played the game yet, and I cannot wait for you to play it, because I have overhyped this game probably so much that it's probably not going to live up to the hype. I hope it does, and I can't wait to sit in VC with you while you play it.
Here, I'll tell you what. As soon as someone very close to me dies, I'll play it.
I don't think you have to have that happen to appreciate the themes. I think it just it resonated with me more, and it really, honestly, it helped me kind of heal in a way that I didn't know I needed, if that makes any sense, because it kind of showed a side of grief that I hadn't kind of dealt with yet.
Yeah.
And it also kind of made me feel like seen in a way, because for a long time, like, obviously I wasn't dealing with my grief in a very healthy way, but I was also being told that it's been X amount of years, I shouldn't still be grieving.
Well, grief is different for everyone,
and that's kind of what I can't fucking talk. I'm getting choked up on my own words.
Devastating for a podcast.
But that's kind of what this game helped me with, was because it showed so many people grieving in different ways and for different amounts of time and for different reasons.
Yeah.
So it just I just kind of felt like validated. Obviously I've gone to therapy and I've dealt with my grief better now. But that doesn't still mean I still don't grieve, or that it still doesn't come up.
Yeah.
But this, it hit me hard because of it.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to try this game. I just need to wait until life is not as busy anymore.
Yeah, you need time to actually be able to sit with it and kind of binge it for a little bit.
I can play games like Fire Emblem and TF2 right now because those aren't nearly as committal games.
But yeah, that's the themes. Another thing I wanted to talk on was we talked about mechanics. I wanted to talk about the obvious, and I touched on it a little bit in mechanics, but the obvious inspirations from other JRPG style games and just JRPGs, the overworld map, for instance, in Clair Obscure is very reminiscent of old school Final Fantasy VII and later style JRPG overworld maps, where it's you get to the overworld and you're the small version of your character exploring the overworld, and you get these different traversal mechanics for your vehicle.
Yeah. Reminds me of Dragon Quest V, which I still need to finish.
And it rewards you for exploring places once you get your different traversal things. not just going to the next story beat. Which again, it also helps lend to the storytelling, because it's, you know, it's, you get to go explore and find more things, and like it's just good. If I had
Very good.
If I had one complaint, it would be the mini map sometimes felt a little clunky, but like that's a nitpick. That's just a nitpick at best.
Yeah. Ultimately meaningless in the face of so much good.
So yeah, the overworld, obviously we were talking about the stylized like combat menu, which is very reminiscent of Persona. Series like Persona. You've got the QuickTime event for combat, which is very reminiscent. At least for me, the point of reference is Legend of the Dragoon. For you, the point of reference is Mario and Luigi.
I'm gonna hit every single counterattack because I'm just that good at Mario and Luigi. You watch.
You got the flagpoles, which are very reminiscent of, you know, any Souls-like, where you have bonfire-esque things. You can sit and rest and, you know, do your leveling up and everything at them.
Yeah.
The one thing in it that to me was like fully unique is the not the equipment system, but they're like the way they do like the abilities and stuff, which to me that's a spoiler, and I think it's worth experiencing yourself and kind of getting a grasp on yourself. But the way they do like
Gotcha.
the passive abilities and stuff is really innovative, and that's part of what leads to a lot of these really cool like build options for your party and for individual characters. And they've just got so many different items that contribute to these passives and stuff that it really does feel like limitless on like
as to what you can build.
As to what you can build and how you can build. Like, the world is your oyster. Like, you want a tanky as fuck character, you can have a whole fucking group of tanky as fuck characters. You can be the turtle fucking group. You want the turtle squad. You want a whole fucking squad of glass cannons, you can build that too. You can have a balanced group. You can have what I did, which was the, you know, fucking one guy kills himself and then fucking buffs up the glass cannon. Like,
I like to imagine he does the worms thing where he just like pushes the lever in on like a little pile of TNT, blows himself up.
Art direction in this game is great. Like, I love that it's not hyper realistic. Like, proportions are a little off on a lot of the characters. Like, their heads are a little bit bigger than they should be, which it was an intentional like art direction thing. Like, everything
to show that they're smarter.
Everything kind of feels a little off and a little weird, and there's a reason for that I do not want to spoil, because again it goes into like story spoilers, but I feel like that's the reason they went with the art direction they went with. And once you play the game and you realize what I'm talking about, you'll be like, oh, that's what he was saying. But yeah, everything just looks just kind of funky and weird, and like the creature designs are like really sick. Like they look like they're just like they're very unique, very JRPG, like very much like JRPG inspired in a lot of the designs, but also very like the whole aesthetic is like painterly, right? Because you know the one thing we do know is that everybody knows is that the main antagonist is the paintress, and she's the one that kind of created all these enemies. And so they all have this like they come from like ink or painting, and like it's a really cool aesthetic.
I really like that kind of stylistic choice. I think Okami does it really well as well.
And then the music in the game is just fucking top notch. Every encounter feels epic because the music just ramps up, and like you get this just epic like orchestral like just epic orchestral music in the background of most fights that just make them
I thought it was jazz.
No, it's like it's a lot of it is like more like orchestral, and like some of it's a little like I think some of it could be considered a little jazzy, but most of it is like it's very French. This is very French, but it's that like French orchestral.
I better hear that one stereotypical French song as soon as I hop into a battle.
For the really the really climactic battles, that's when you get the main theme playing with the French, like the French singing in the background too, and the it's.
Why did I think you were gonna say national anthem?
Not the French national anthem.
Like,
it just it makes but the music makes every fight seem really epic, and then it also complements all your quiet moments, like the music that happens in like the camp it's very somber, it's very low, and it complements it complements the like crackling of the fire really well, and the conversations that you tend to have at the camper tend to be a little somber till later, but it's just the music accompaniment is just again top notch. I know I'm just fucking sucking Clair Obscure's dick, and I can't help it, man.
He's doing tricks on it,
bouncing on it crazy style. Dio.
I could see it in his mouth.
Because I just have nothing but good things to say about it, and if this was more of a spoilery thing, I would be gushing about so many things that happened in the story. But I want you, and I want everybody else that might be listening to this to go and experience that for yourself, because it is worth experiencing.
I believe it.
Yeah, I think that's about all I have for the Gush session. This just creaming in my pants over Clair Obscure.
Creaming our pants.
Our pants. Well, you're a gyro, so that's what the
yeah, they got cream on me already.
That's what the tzatziki sauce is.
I could kill for a gyro right now. Oh, sorry, gyro. Two different things. There's Gyro the Gyro and Gyro the Gyro.
It's fair. Oh, God. Yeah, it's just good.
Yeah, I'm very interested in playing it again whenever I finally get the chance. That'll be one of the first games I play.
Yeah, skip.
Until then, gambling on
Yeah.
TF2.
Yeah,
No, not
skip
really.
skip finishing Time Stranger till you finish Clair Obscura. As much as I want you to also finish Time Stranger, skip that. Play Clair Obscura
Yeah.
first.
Sir, yes, sir.
Oh. Well, do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, what should I have for dinner? No.
Mongolian beef.
Mongolian beef. Yeah, no, I've been interested in this game. You are the second person who has sung its praises up and down, left and right. And I really do want to play it. It's just I know it's going to be a very long and very enjoyable game, and I have other stupid responsibilities to attend to. Not this one, though, the one currently sitting
That's
in
fair.
my lap.
Especially if you're like me and you end up exploring the entire map looking for secrets.
Yeah, the
Yep.
entire map.
Yeah, as soon as I got any new traversal thing, I did everything I could do with that traversal thing and explored every nook and cranny of the mini map or of the overworld map, and then just rinse and repeat every time I got a new traversal method. It was like, I need
Hell yeah.
to find everything.
Everything.
But it was good.
Yeah, I really can't wait to play this game. It's just, you know, when I get the chance.
Man, all I did was talk for like 50 minutes, and I'm fucking beat. All I did was be excited for 50 minutes. I guess you got an idea of what you want to do next episode? You want to tease an episode 4? Because it's gonna be your turn.
No.
No.
I've got some ideas. It may or may not start with the letter
That's right.
M.
We do have to go through the rest of the Mega Man series.
Yeah, we could, but there are a lot of series that I'm a fan of that start with the letter M. Surprisingly, Mega Man, Metroid, Monster Hunter, off the top of my head.
Good old Monster.
We got Fallout.
I'll be back on my Digimon shit. I just had to take a detour to Gush.
And Detour to France.
Detour to France. Gush about the sad French people.
You could just say French people, same thing.
They're
I'm
not all
kidding.
sad. They have baguettes. And
They
mimes.
do. And some other things.
Well, the mimes might be sad.
They could mime being sad and we would never know.
That's true. All right, we're rambling now. I think it's time to close this out. This has been the Neurodiverse podcast. I've been your host, VintrBjorn. You can find me here on YouTube and on Blue Sky and on TikTok. I'm not on Instagram anymore. I said fuck that. And fuck X/Twitter. That's a horrible site. I also...
And I've been the meal.
Gyro has been the meal.
I don't have social media.
You know what? You're better off for it. I'm also on Blue or on Twitch and also Blue Twitch. But you know, Blue Twitch is just me telling sexy stories with my sensual voice. So, all right. Bye-bye.
Bye.